All right, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from today. Welcome to today's webinar from Hatch and Tony Hoty, how to nail the 4 R's of home improvement: reviews, referrals, radius, and repeats. This should be an awesome jam-packed session with information on how you guys can grow your business from a review standpoint, get more reviews, get more repeat business, and get more jobs in your neighborhoods. So I'm really excited to have Kyle Powers on the line with me here from Tony Hoty. Kyle, thanks for hopping on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. We'll give people just a couple more minutes to hop in the webinar room. While we get started here, want to get people acquainted with the platform. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, on the right-hand side is the chat panel. So feel free to jump in there if you have any questions for us, have any comments. So as we get started here, head on over to that chat panel and let us know where you're joining us from today. Additionally, we have a Q&A panel. So if you have any questions throughout the webinar that we'll address during and after, head on over to the Q&A panel and ask any of those questions. We'll try to keep this session around 30 minutes or so and leave about 10 minutes for questions after that. So really looking forward to this session. Kyle and I have been talking shop. Kyle did a half Ironman on Saturday, right, Kyle?
I did.
Freaking beast. And I did my first triathlon on Sunday. So we were joking before this that we'll make this whole webinar talking about swim, bike, run, but we'll try not to do too much of that. Yeah, we're in a little bit of recovery mode right now. So I'm standing up, getting the legs moving. Cool. So as we're getting started here, head on over to the chat panel on the right-hand side of your screen. Let us know where you're joining us from today. Welcome Alex from Georgia, Glenn from Mid-Atlantic Remodeling in Pennsylvania, Chris from San Antonio of Safe Steps Showers, Sam at Woodbridge Home Solutions. Love you guys from Dallas, Texas. Glenn, yep, carbo load indeed. I ate a ton of pasta.
Me also.
Welcome Jay from Elite Construction. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Again, make sure we're acquainted with this platform. Chat panel on the right-hand side, Q&A panel on the right-hand side as well. This session should be about 30 minutes. We're going to dig into how to nail the 4 R's of home improvement. Really excited for this session. So let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Josh. I'm partner marketing manager here at Hatch. I'm pleased to be working with a lot of companies that are in the home improvement space to make sure we're providing added value from an integrations, from a partnership perspective for our customers. And one of those awesome partners that we have here at Hatch is Tony Hoty Training and Consulting. And Kyle Powers has been in the space for a number of years. So thank you, Kyle, for hopping on. And please share a little bit about yourself. Really excited about your experience and what you can share with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Josh. Kyle Powers, coach and consultant with Tony Hoty Training and Consulting. I have been coaching and consulting for a couple of years now with Tony. Before that, I'd previously spent a little over a decade in this industry, primarily on the front end of the business when it comes to lead generation. So from call centers to canvassing to being a marketing director, did sell a little bit in the home and was a sales manager for a little while also, but my love certainly lies in the lead generation side of the business. So spent the last 2 years touring all over the country, helping companies figure out how to generate more leads and how to do it more cost effectively.
Love it. And we have a lot of shared customers that are getting a ton of success from Kyle's training program. And so I'm really excited to have Kyle on because Kyle's been in the field. He's done your work. And so everything that we're sharing today with respect to the 4 R's, Kyle has done, he's experienced it, and he's gotten a lot of success from it. So excited to share with you guys those templates and strategies that we're using today. So again, the 4 R's: reviews, referrals, radius, and repeats. This is what we're going to be covering today. When and how to ask for that 5-star review, incentives to provide customers with referrals, how to actually dominate a neighborhood when you do a job in a particular neighborhood, how to kind of expand, land and expand throughout that neighborhood to get additional jobs, as well as how to get that add-on appointment after you do repeats. Maybe you got a 1 partial, maybe you just did the windows and the doors need work too. There's a lot of opportunity here for add-on business, and we're going to be talking about some key ways that you guys can capture that in your business. So it's not a webinar with Hatch unless we give away a Yeti. So head on over, grab your cell phone and text your first and last name to 804-395-6006. And we will announce the winner at the end of this webinar. I want to give everybody ample time to grab their cell phone and text your first and last name to 804-395-6006. And you'll win this. We'll do a drawing at the end of the webinar to win this Yeti cooler. So Kyle, you were mentioning, as people are texting this, you were mentioning earlier that you have a lot of experience from the marketing side of things. With respect to the 4 R's, how much is that a marketing motion versus a sales motion, and how, who's usually responsible for that kind of motion with respect to those 4 R's?
It really starts at the very beginning of your business with marketing, and it really is a marketing function because it's all about, at the end of the day, generating more business. We have great reviews, that helps. Because the one thing you can't ever count is the business that you lose because you've generated that lead and they go and they look at your website and you don't have great reviews or don't have that many reviews. That's one thing you can never count is how much business you've lost. So really it is all falls on marketing, but you'll see as we get through the webinar here that, all processes in your company have to be tailored toward, are we reviewable? Are we referable? Do we do the right job that a customer wants to do more business with us? So all those things matter, and certainly having the right processes and procedures, but, marketing is what would really house that.
Good stuff. And I guess we'll start off by polling the audience here. So with respect to these 4 R's, what grade would you guys give yourself today on A, B, C, D, F? So I'm going to start polling. Let us know what grade you give yourself, just holistically speaking, how well you guys are doing at referrals, repeats, getting radius business around a neighborhood, as well as reviews. So head on over to the poll and let us know what grade you would give yourself today. Kyle, when you work with clients and they're getting started implementing these 4 R's in their business with your brand ambassador program, how would you say their program is in that grade scale across those 4 R's?
What the client's current programs usually are? You're asking? Before
they kind of move to that brand ambassador.
Well, it's one of those things that just about every company I talk to, any seminar I go to, webinar I'm on, they always want to talk about how do you get more business? How do you make these things happen? And what I see a lot of times is, if they have a program targeting each one of those, a lot of times they're just not doing it. Especially right now, business is good for the most part for the home improvement industry. And so success breeds apathy, right? So we get fat and happy, so to say. We get lazy with the easy stuff, and we fail to follow the processes we have created. Or in some instances, we just had such a complicated process that it just never gets done by the staff. And so I would say, usually when they're reaching out to me, it's because it's not as good or is not as good as they think it could be. And so I would say most clients usually fall around that C or D area as a whole. There might be one of them, they might be really good at targeting their existing customers for add-on business, that way or something, but they might be completely missing the mark on one of the other 4 R's. So.
Yeah, Kyle, you make a good point. Like, everybody's busy. I got an email back from the webinar invitation that I sent out to our audience. And he said, he's the owner. He's like, I wish I could join, but I got to go straight to the job site. We're running low on, we don't have enough, sales reps or installers. And so, everybody's busy, and it's easy to kind of, like you said, get fat and happy. So it's important to kind of plan today for tomorrow, right? Get those reviews, get those referrals. So it looks like a majority of you guys are sitting in that C range. So that's right around where we typically see before incorporating a program like the brand ambassador program, or like a program like Hatch, to help you guys execute on those 4 R's. So thanks for participating.
And so, just a little follow up here again, who we are, Tony Hoty Training and Consulting. We really consider ourselves the experts in the lead generation field. That's where we, specify our what we do for clients. We don't do sales training. We don't really touch anything on the production end. So it's all on the front end of the business. Things that we consult on would be like canvassing, call center, shows, events, retail type partnerships. as well as we do have a recruiting arm where we will help recruit, I should say, marketing managers, call center managers, canvas managers, and things like that, as well as then help implement that program and train that person that we recruit for you. And so we offer a whole suite on the front end of the business when it comes to pretty much anything to do with face-to-face or voice-to-voice marketing. We do have a big event coming up in Orlando in May, 19th and 20th. We do have a few tickets still available through sponsorship. That brings the cost down to $95 per person. It's at the Hyatt in Orlando, Florida. It'll be 2 days of just talking about this brand ambassador program that we're going to be sharing about today, but all different facets of lead generation. We got a lot of industry experts there speaking. So, hey, if you find you can get away for a couple of days down to Orlando in May, which isn't a bad thing, certainly join us. But we are going to have a virtual option also. So if you would like to still get the content but can't travel, feel free to sign up and grab one of those sponsors and get that reduced ticket.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kyle. A little bit about Hatch. We're a messaging app that's designed to increase your close rate, increase your appointment set rate. So we connect up to all your lead sources, whatever you're using to get leads, Facebook, Modernize, Home Advisor, Angie's List, you name it, your website. We connect up to those lead sources, instantly text those leads, email those leads, and leave a voicemail with those leads. And that's designed to help you guys set more appointments. And you will set more appointments as soon as you incorporate Hatch into your business. You guys notice that when you text that number to win the Yeti, you instantly got a text back. That's how quickly that Hatch can get to your leads as soon as they come in. So that's one piece of what we do. The next piece of what we do is help you guys with the rehash. A lot of you guys are busy hopping from job to job. You're quoting a lot of leads. Leads fall through the cracks. That's normal. We see it all the time. We connect up to your CRM, whatever you guys are using, Market Sharp, Improve It 360, Lead Perfection, you name it. We connect up to those CRMs, pull in those leads that you quoted and didn't buy, and we rehash those through text, email, and voicemail. And it's helping you guys increase your close rate. And we work with a lot of companies in the remodeling home improvement space. It's really our bread and butter. We got templates that work and strategies that work, cadences, and we'd be excited to show you guys around the platform. And you'll have an opportunity to indicate that you're interested in learning more about us, and we'll be happy to reach out and share more information. So really excited about the partnership with Tony Hoty. A lot of our clients use Tony Hoty's consulting methodology, and a lot of that is incorporated in Hatch with respect to how they communicate with customers. So for us, it's a really natural partnership. And so, Kyle, I mean, we were talking about this earlier when we were setting up this presentation. It really is a mindset shift, right? For how you want to look at these 4 R's.
Yeah, because it's not just about the 4 R's. It's really creating the processes in your business that make you reviewable and referable and making people want to do business with you again. You might be really great at installing windows or putting siding on or whatever product it is that you do, and you give them a great, product at the end of everything. But, if you didn't communicate well, if you didn't represent your brand well from the very tip of the sword, maybe it was a canvasser knocking on the door, and that canvasser just didn't take no for an answer, and didn't serve, that customer and try to sell them instead. And maybe your sales process wasn't that great, and you had to cancel and show up at a different date, and all those different things that can happen in our businesses. All those things can hurt you at the end of the day. And even though they might be happy with your finished product, they may not refer you to anybody, or they may not, leave you a review, because they have that saying, right, that each person that is happy with you, they might tell 1 to 2 other people, but if they're unhappy with you, they usually tell 10 plus people. And so with that being said, if each process in your business from marketing to sales to production doesn't have, the gold standard, so to say, behind it, that makes that customer happy and a raving customer, so to say, a raving fan of your business, you got some work to do to really then capitalize on the 4 R's once you get that stuff figured out.
For sure. So let's jump right in. Reviews. How do we get more 5-star reviews? How do we ask for a 5-star review? And it can be kind of awkward, straight up, like asking a homeowner for a review. A lot of production folks are not necessarily comfortable with asking the homeowner that. And so there's a few different ways that you guys can actually tackle those and ask for those reviews. But I'd really like to first take a step back and look at what negative reviews can do to your business. Kyle just mentioned earlier and said, it's more likely that somebody's, who had a bad experience is going to tell a lot more people than somebody that had a good experience. And one of the main, reasons why people give bad reviews is because of a lack of responsiveness. And to Kyle's point, it's not just in the production process where this is an issue. This is also an issue in the sales process. So I just want to point out one thing here. Bottom review right here. This is a window dealer in Richmond. Booked a free consultation, spoke with somebody on the phone, and they never showed up, nor have we heard back from them. It was actually a bathroom dealer, excuse me. Went ahead and booked the job with Bath Planet. So they wrote a review, and it had nothing to do with the production process. It had everything to do with that sales process. So a big piece is being responsive. That's super important. You could use a tool like Hash to keep in touch with folks. But at the end of the day, to avoid negative reviews, you got to be on top of the homeowner on every step of the journey and provide a great experience. And then you also need to have a strategy to handle these negative reviews and turn them around. And like I mentioned before, the communication is such a big piece here. And so this is just a brief little template for when you book the job, how you need to be communicating with your customers. We'll send this afterwards with some templates that you guys can incorporate in that post-sale pre-construction period. But again, job gets booked. Thank you from the owner. Send that over text, send that over email, send information about the warranty. If you offer like maybe a 30-year warranty or a lifelong warranty, whatever the product that you're selling is, offer a piece of content, get somebody excited. I know a lot of you guys have long lead times. That's pretty normal with material shortages and labor shortages that are happening in the market today. So get people excited, provide a similar jobs before and after. So maybe you did a roof nearby, send them a picture of the before and after, get them excited about their roof, and get them happy and excited to actually schedule and confirm that install. And it's always good to send a picture of your installers. If you have them, I really encourage it. It makes the appointment super warm, especially in this day and age, as well as your COVID procedures. That's kind of a given here. And of course, confirm the install. And you need to be doing this for appointments, before the sale, for your sales appointments, but also for your installs as well. So this is just a playbook. We'll send this afterwards so you guys can incorporate in your business. But it's again, stay on top of the homeowner, be good at communication, and you'll decrease the likelihood of you getting those negative reviews. So this is an example, Kyle, of Window Depot that you shared with me. I was really excited about. They've got so many 5-star reviews. It's ridiculous. So what are they doing well, and how are they, getting those 5-star reviews?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say on that playbook that you just shared about, the dark period from selling the job to getting it installed. We could almost have a couple of webinars just on this point. And that is a huge one right now with the lead times that most companies are experiencing that are pushed out, to 10, 12, 16, even further weeks past that, with the shortages and everything. That stay in contact, with your people. That is one of the biggest things, even with happy customers that I go and visit while doing and showing and teaching the brand ambassador program. That is one of the things that they always say we could do better at. And that was just communication and letting them know what's going on. So they're just not sitting there for 4 to 6 weeks at a time with no information. And they just spent 10 grand or 15 grand with this company and they have no idea what's going on. So that's a huge one. Just wanted to touch base on that. So Josh, if you want to flip forward there, then.
Appreciate that, Kyle.
And so, yeah, Window Depot, Cleveland, this is actually Tony Hoty's retail business. And the one thing that we wanted to do was really perfect this brand ambassador program inside of this business. So the number one thing that I see customers, my customers, clients, home improvement companies do wrong is they're not proactive when it comes to reviews. So recently dealt with a company that's been in business almost 30 years. They do a pretty good job at what they do. And the problem was they were just never proactive with reviews. So going back to the happy person tells 1 or 2, the unhappy person tells 10. Well, if you took a happy person and an unhappy person and you did nothing, the unhappy person is probably the one that's going to come leave you a review. And so if you don't have processes in place to go ahead and be proactive with that, you're not going to get the amount of reviews. So Tony's business has been in business just for a few years. It's smaller in size, but yet we're able to have enough reviews, and not only enough reviews, but all 5 stars essentially are very close to 5 stars that Google still says we're a 5-star rated business, that the amount of phone calls and the amount of business we get just very simply because the customer went online, saw our reviews, went through them and said, wow, you just blow the competition out of the water. We want to do business with you. And that's really the power of being proactive in reviews, but not only proactive on getting reviews, but being proactive when maybe you get a bad review, because it's going to happen. It doesn't matter how great your business is. You're going to mess up somewhere. You're going to have an installer that makes a mistake. You're going to miss an appointment somewhere. It's going to happen no matter how good you are. And so I want to talk about that a little bit, that what happens when you get a bad review. And so this is actually a live example here of a customer that wasn't necessarily happy with how things went. But, we're notified as soon as a review is left for us. If it isn't perfect, we go to work with contacting that customer and trying to make it perfect. And so you can see here that they took what was originally a 1-star rating and gave it and turned it up to a 4-star rating, even though we didn't do really much except just be proactive and took the extra step. As you can see, the response from the owner that we sent the brand ambassador back with some touch-up paint and a brush, for that homeowner to do it. So just taking that little extra step, took it from a 1-star to a 4-star. Now, does one review really make a difference? Well, not that often. One review, if you got hundreds of reviews, not that big a deal. But, you're going to get more than one bad review through your course of business. And it's really how you handle those and can get those changed that can really make a difference over time.
So let's go towards that actual ask. How do you get that level of reviews? 274 Google reviews, only been in business a few years. That's impressive. And they're all 5 stars. So how do you actually go in and ask for those reviews? The first way is I consider just a bare minimum automated reach out. As soon as the job gets marked completed in the CRM, send out a text that says, hey, Tom, this is Bill, the owner at ABC Exteriors. Thank you for your business. Are you happy with the work my team did? Now, this is super important. A lot of home improvement companies that I'll talk to, they just go in straight for the hard ask. After the job is completed, they might give them a call, they might send them a text, might send them an email and say, hey, would you please leave us a Google review or a Facebook review or a Yelp review, without even asking if they're happy with the work that was completed. And so if somebody responds, yeah, I'm happy with the work, that the windows are awesome, then send them out a follow-up that says, hey, awesome. A lot of our business comes from word of mouth and reviews. Would you please write us a review here, and then send a link to the Google review. We can help you with that. There are a lot of other services that can help you generate reviews. And so if somebody says no, you need to pivot and say, what went wrong? How can I help? And in this case that we showed before, they adequately handled this right here in Google and reached out to the customer. And then Karen ended up rescinding her review or editing it and moving it to 4 stars. Because when it comes to the average, you guys all remember if you got an F on a paper or something like that in school, your average would go down like 10 points. You're like, how the heck did that happen, right? Because the 1-star can really kill that average review on the top right here on the Google My Business listing. So avoid those 1-star reviews, handle it accordingly, be proactive, like Kyle mentioned, and also have a strategy for your install team. When your installers finish the job, make sure they're happy and get to the homeowner while they're hot. You're standing with them in the home. They're probably going to be really excited about the new windows they just got if you did a great job, which assuming they did. And then, encourage them to say, hey, I'll text you a link right now to, write a review on Google. And so that's a really good way to do that. But the one piece here is a lot of installers don't have that sales and marketing mindset to ask for a review. So it's important to, identify those installers that you have that are really good at this and have them help train the other installers to be comfortable with asking that homeowner for a review.
And then, of course, the last section there being the brand ambassador program. So, the automated stuff, program like Hatch that automatically sends it out at whenever, you mark the job complete in your CRM. There's other programs like G4 Marketing that have their authentic feedback where you can, use that to send to them whenever you may want to do that. Of course, Josh talked about the installers, so any one of those is better, is a proactive approach. So any one of those can do well. The one downside to those is when you're sending a link, even the most well-intentioned consumer that is happy with you might get that message and say, oh, this is great. Yeah, I'll leave them a review. I'll do it a little later. And then life gets busy and they never get back to doing it. So you'll get reviews through automated stuff. You'll get reviews, from the installer. But the one thing that the brand ambassador really allows you to do is get face-to-face with that customer. You brought them a gift out at the end of the finished job. So, they're a little more apt to do something for you, the law of reciprocity at work right there, because you bring them something, they're willing to do something for you. And then a lot of times you're even able to get multiple reviews. So have them leave a review for you on Google, have them leave you a review on Facebook, maybe the Better Business Bureau. The big nasty word in our business, Yelp, right? Everyone's not a big fan of Yelp these days. I was just with a client out in California, and Yelp rules there, and we're not so much out where I live, but out there, Yelp's a big thing, and so they go with their brand ambassador first to go for the Yelp review. And so when you're face to face with that customer and you're asking them, hey, because you're 100% satisfied with us, would you mind leaving us a review? The customers always say, yeah, I could do that. What they're not expecting next is we tell them, well, hey, grab your phone. I'll walk you through it. It takes just a second. And they don't want to say no to you because they're face to face with you. They just said they would do it. So why wouldn't they grab their phone and walk them through it? And a lot of times you can help them with, letting them know like, hey, when you leave it on Google, you had mentioned to me already, you loved our installers, Matt and Joe, you can give them a shout out on there. Or, hey, you really loved your salesperson, give him a shout out on there. And can really help kind of curtail them to leaving a review that really shines a good light on your business. And so I brought up kind of the Trojan horse gift. And so essentially the beginning of the brand ambassador program is calling that consumer, letting them know that, hey, I'd love to stop out, do a brief final walkthrough of the project, bring you a gift for, being part of the Window Depot family, and just make sure you're 100% satisfied with everything. And so this is the gift that we show up with. And that's the very first step of the brand ambassador program, is going through the gift. And so this gift basket right here, I want to say comes in right a little bit below $20 for everything. We've got a few different things in there: coffee mug, chocolate, scented candles. We got some, magnets, chip clips. He also has Bath Depot, so he's got some Bath Depot soap. And then the last thing being a gift card back to the company, and we'll get to that when we talk about add-on and referral business. But with all that being said, when you bring them that gift, and after going through that, you go through a survey to find out that they are 100% happy, you are able to then get those reviews and everything because of that. And so this is just kind of an outline of the survey. Josh, if you want to bring up just all the questions there real quick, I'll kind of fly through this one. So as Josh mentioned before, you do want to make sure your customer is happy before you trigger them to leave you a review. Because if the customer isn't happy and you talk about reviews, that just gives them a platform where they can maybe share their being upset with you or not completely happy. And so we go through a brief survey like this, just, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate us? How was your project manager in setting up expectations? How well was the work completed with, in accordance with your agreement? How was your project completed within the time frame that we, suggested? You can always say, due to COVID or extreme weather, besides any of those two, did we complete it, in the time frame that we had on the contract? How were our installers? Were they, polite, courteous, respectful? How well did they clean up after themselves? How would you rate your overall experience? And then, of course, how likely are you to refer our company to friends and family? And when they give you 5s out of all of that, that's when you're able to trigger, well, seeing as though you are happy, would you leave that review for us? Good, great, grab your phone, I'll walk you through it. But it also gives great feedback for your company at where you may need to know of where to fix things a little better. So again, that number one that we usually get a little hang up on and people not so happy is that number one question: how is your project manager in setting proper expectations? They say a lot about that communication right there is that downside. And then, of course, when we're talking reviews, what's better than social proof? And so when you're going out there with that brand ambassador program, one of the things we let them know is, hey, with all our happy customers, last thing here is we like to grab a quick photo with you, hand them a sign. And, we don't ask for the picture. We assume the picture and put the sign in their hands. And we're able to go ahead and get that picture. And, when you do hundreds of jobs a year or more and can get all those kind of pictures and use them through your social media, and not only take that, but grab that review that they've listed, screenshot it with that, put it into a Facebook post, that, hey, Mr. Smith loves his new windows in whatever town. You can also use that to build your website organically for organic search also.
For sure. And I really like the point that you made about the Google images too, or excuse me, the images in that Google review, because they will show up on the Google My Business listing on the top right, photos of your business. And then you'll be able to see, as you're looking at photos maybe of completed jobs that your website might be hosting, they're also going to see those photos of folks that are super happy and holding up that sign. So that's fantastic. And one of the benefits of having something like the brand ambassador program. So when it comes to referrals, that's another critical piece for your business. Similar kind of layout with respect to that automation piece. Make sure the customer is happy before you request that referral. And then you want to make sure you also introduce that referral program throughout that sales process as well. So the key piece here is, from an automated approach, send something like, hey, this is Bill, the owner at ABC Exteriors. Thank you for your business. Are you happy with the work my team did? If they said yes, a lot of our business comes from word of mouth. So we put together a referral program that provides XYZ, whatever that is that you guys are offering as part of your referral program. Maybe $50 gift card, maybe 10% off the next job that you do. Have 5 minutes to chat about it. It's really important to try to get somebody on the phone to explain the referral program, and you're more likely to be able to get that question answered with respect to who might you ask for a referral. So that's pretty effective as well. And then you're also able to right or wrong if they're not happy with the work that you did. Obviously, from the sales rep, when you close the deal, folks are going to be very excited. They're going to be excited to get their project completed. It's important to, at a bare minimum, introduce that referral program. So make sure that your sales rep is at least, floating the referral program by the homeowner. May not necessarily be that hard ask for a referral right then and there, but at least introduce it. So that way later on in the process, maybe your install team or maybe something like a brand ambassador program can come by the house and can reintroduce that referral, and it'll already be top of mind for the homeowner that they've got a good incentive to provide that referral.
And I agree. Referrals really start at the point of sale, getting that program out there. If your company doesn't have a referral program, that is first step. Figure out, what you can do for them, what you can give them. Again, there is companies like G4 Marketing that offer that through some of their services, where they host a referral program, make it really easy and turnkey for a company to use. And each company that I've been to, some use G4, some have their own. Really just depends on what you want to do. But make sure when you do create that referral program that it rings throughout your business and people know about it. If you have a program and it's never shared with the customer, it's never going to work. And so really putting that in part of your sales process, that when the salesperson is in the home, hey, look, I know some salespeople that are extremely good at asking for referrals and getting them. And it's a huge part of their business, because most salespeople tend to get paid more for that kind of self-generated or referral lead that they sell. But some salespeople, it's not really their cup of tea. And so just having a program and a process that they do in the house, again, at a minimum, to at least explain what your program is, to give that customer the ability to refer somebody for that. One of the things we do in the brand ambassador program, part of that is referral. And so we're actually asking for referrals a few different ways in that brand ambassador visit. The first one being when we give that gift basket to them, that last thing we go over is that gift card back to the business. And we're doing that to really get add-on business, which we'll talk about in getting repeats. But the other thing is, if that consumer can't use that gift card, we let them know that they can gift that gift card to somebody. Do you know about our referral program? And it's always interesting when I go out in the field and do this, because the companies that are really good with a referral program, the homeowners are always, oh yeah, we got this from you. We got the mailer. We got whatever about your referral program. Absolutely. And, oh, wow, I can give this to someone. Yeah. My sister Susie, she could use Windows. It'd be awesome. She could save some extra money. And then, of course, they get whatever that referral program is. But if they don't know about it, it gives a great in to be able to explain what the referral program is, because they get to gift this gift card to somebody, and laying out whatever that referral program is, and just asking, who do you know in the course of business, when you were getting your Windows installed, someone maybe mentioned, friend, coworker, neighbor, anybody like that they might be interested in getting something done. And a lot of times you can trigger a referral there. The other place that we're asking for referrals, when we went through that survey that I just talked about, that last question, how likely would you be to refer us to somebody? Asking again, did they hear about the referral program? You might have went over it already or not, but again, being able to ask for referrals then there. And then when we get into talking about Radius, the last thing the brand ambassador program does is that brand ambassador will leave that house and go knock on, the local 10 to, 25 doors in the neighborhood. And so just letting that homeowner know that, hey, you're going to see me out in the neighborhood in the next, 20 minutes or so, just speaking to a few neighbors, because when we were doing the work, a couple of them called in asking for additional information. So I'm just going to be out here giving them that information. Is there maybe a neighbor I should stop by first? And a lot of times they'll say, oh, yeah, actually, you know what? Bill across the street, when you guys got done installing the windows, came over and asked about it. Awesome. Well, Bill could be your first referral then and get you some rewards. So there's multiple ways to ask for referrals. And hey, at the end of the day, even if you do a referral program really well, you're highly referable, and you're doing well, it's still tough to get referrals. And so the more points of contacts you can get about it, the better the consumers know about your program, the better chance you have at getting a referral. So one program that we put together at Tony's retail business, we call it the Referral Squirrel. He goes absolutely nuts for referrals. And so we looked at just trying to create something fun and exciting that consumers could really attach to and understand. And so the referral program is super simple there, that if a customer refers somebody to us, as long as we go out and at least do a demo, give that customer a price, they get a referral squirrel. It's a stuffed squirrel that's sent to them, and its paws are together like this, and it's holding a $50 Amazon gift card. And so a lot of times, being simple and kind of cheesy and fun, that sells. We have a few different people throughout the Window Depot and Bath Depot customers that have gotten 10 plus referral squirrels. And so again, when you get a program and you let people know about it, it can be highly successful.
I love that program. It's really cute. And like you mentioned before, over communicate, right? I see that all the time. The lack of communication not only does it impact your reviews, it also impacts that referral program, right? So introduce it throughout that entire sales process. And this is the example of that gift basket, Kyle, where you introduced that gift card that somebody could gift to somebody else as a referral. It's fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And so again, that gift card really is set up in the first place for repeat business, which we're going to get to in a minute. But if that consumer itself cannot use that gift card because, maybe, all their projects are done, they just don't have a need for anything else in their home. You did the last thing for them. It doesn't go to waste, and they can gift it to somebody. And it's, again, the hard part about getting a referral is this day and age, no one wants to give out someone's information. There's a big deal on people's info and phone numbers and email addresses. And, even when you do it well, you still get, well, you know what, I'll talk to my sister Susie first. And if she wants to reach out to you guys, she will. And so any little extra thing to help tip them over that edge, to help them out, can be a huge deal.
Cool. That's great, Kyle. And one question that I have as we go through this is how do you know how much to actually give in that referral program? What's the dollar figure? What percentage of the average job size should you be offering an incentive for referral? I'm just curious, because I know a lot of people are probably thinking that is like, how much should I offer as part of my referral program?
Yeah, and that's a great question. And there's not like a very straightforward answer. Right. What we do inside Tony's business is actually that gift card is a 10% off gift card. And he just went with $50 Amazon gift cards for that referral. And so, if you look at it, even if you look at your standard, if you get a lead, you issue half your leads, you demo 75% of them, you sell 1 out of 3, you're even given $50 for a referral, because they tend to issue better and demo better and sell better than just any other normal lead. Your closing percentage, it might cost you a couple of $100 to get that sale. And I don't know any company that's on here that wouldn't pay a couple $100 to get a sale. But it really depends on the product you offer. If you're a sunroom company, and your average ticket price is, 60,000 plus, or you're a gutter company where your average ticket is just a few $1,000s, that's going to kind of, play on what it is that you're going to offer. But, figure out what you think might work for your business. Look at what your average sale amount is. Look at how many demos it's going to take you to get that sale. And you can just easily budget that way to see what you can get, for it. So.
Yeah. And another piece is make sure you're tracking it. All the CRMs in the space have the lead source as a, something that you can look at when you do your reporting. So make sure if it is a referral, you can see the close rate on referrals might be a lot higher than the close rate on maybe a Facebook lead, which I assume it will be. So make sure you're tracking that so you can kind of back into that number that you want to provide for a referral incentive there. So the next piece is radius marketing. And that's all about capturing that neighborhood around a recently completed job. That's super effective. And so the first piece we're going to be talking about is geo-targeting, how to do that in Facebook. Obviously, direct mail drops with a discount are fantastic. Door hangers, canvassing, and of course, having a brand ambassador. And I think, Kyle, as we go through this, can you explain to me a little bit about the direct mail and the door hanger and the canvassing approach here?
Yeah, and so when it comes to, tried and true direct mail, right? So neighborhood mailers, there's companies that will pull lists for you around your job that you just completed, whether you want to do 50 homes, 100 homes in that area. They can pull demographics, so you're making sure you're only, sending it to, people that have done or, homes that fit your kind of budgetary constraints there. Stay away from renters, things like that. And we actually recommend kind of like a 3-step drop. So not just sending one direct mail piece, but doing it before, like, hey, we're going to be doing work, then, hey, we're doing work. And that last follow-up of, hey, we just completed work, with some type of discount because we're in your neighborhood, extra $500 off or whatever it may be. And you'll get people that call in from them. They tend to ROI out, pretty well in most neighborhoods. And again, super easy for any company to do direct mail because there's companies like, for example, jumbopostcard.com that will do the whole process. They'll design the card for you. They'll recommend things for you. They'll pull the list. They'll mail it for you. So it's really hands off. All you got to do is field those phone calls that come in correctly to get that lead set up. Next thing, just regular door hangers or door stickies. There's, companies that'll go out and just completely flyer a whole area for you, or maybe you have some, high school kids or something that want to work for you and you pay them, just to go out, and place door hangers, as well as tried and true canvassing. A lot of people have questions about canvassing right now with COVID. Does it work? Absolutely. More people are working from home. You get a much better answer rate through any time of the day nowadays with that. And hey, if they're really against COVID and that kind of thing right now and being in contact with people, they just don't answer the door. Very rarely have I run into anybody through the whole country that, was upset that we knocked on their door, due to COVID. So canvassing still works. Again, the closer you can get to the job site, the better. And then that's really where it comes into the brand ambassador program, that the last thing they do when they leave the home is they're knocking on about 10 to 30 doors in that immediate area to let them know that, hey, just wanted to apologize for any disruption. We're just doing some work across the street on John and Susie's house. Not sure if you've seen our trucks there, but, we're installing some new windows. And a lot of times they're going, oh, yeah, no, absolutely. We saw your truck. Oh, they did windows. Oh, that's great. And you're simply asking them before I go, is there any, information you would like? And showing them a product sheet of what you have to offer. And they pick. It's an extremely effective way to get radius business right around the job site right after you install it.
Awesome. So let's jump into a couple examples of what this actually looks like. So in Facebook, we did a webinar with our friends at Contractor Dynamics. If you're a roofing company, Contractor Dynamics. If you're a roofing company, go check them out. They're really good for training you guys on how to do Facebook advertising. But make sure you're having hyper-relevant messaging when you do geo-targeting. It's really easy to set what we call like a geo-target fence in Facebook. So you can go into your business.facebook.com account and go in and actually map out the specific coordinates of a neighborhood. And then maybe if the homeowner is okay with it, show a picture of a recently completed home. In this example, this is an ad for Andy's Roofing. If you're on 265 heading south towards the new East Bridge, take a look at the highway, take a look off the highway to the left before you get onto Old Salem Road exit, and you will see another awesome project that we just recently completed. We're super proud to have installed this roof, et cetera, et cetera. This makes it super warm. And of course, people love to do what their neighbors do, right? Keeping up with the Joneses. So it's super effective use of budget as well. It's efficient because you can target a specific neighborhood. So this on top of what we talked about earlier with the canvassing and door hangers can be incredibly effective because people are on their phone. Everybody's on Facebook, right? And so if you can get in front of people in a specific neighborhood, they can, see the door hangers, and then they're going to also pull up their phone and see the recently completed job. So very, very effective.
And last couple of things, with Radius, the brand ambassador will put a yard sign in the yard again when they leave that home. And so that's just a little extra advertising, in that area. Most of my clients say, oh, well, we leave a yard sign, when we either sell it and install it. Usually within a couple of days after that, by the time we get out there, it's usually taken down. Every once in a while, we still see one there. So just letting them know, hey, when I leave here, I got a yard sign to throw in the yard. Is there any, housing authority that might, prohibit our sign? I usually let them know, hey, if you could keep it in for a few weeks, when you get sick of mowing around it, go ahead and take it down. And it's just a way to get that yard sign in the yard. But more importantly, when you go out to knock doors, to be able to point back at that sign and say, yeah, that's our sign there. That's John and Susie's house. And as well as, there's just an example of door sticky notes. We recommend those over door hangers these days. It's just very easy to carry around and just rip one off and stick it to the door. And so you can see, bright colors, what you offer, because we're in the area, that type of stuff can work very well.
All of that. Last piece is repeats, right? Add-on business. And Kyle, this is a crazy stat. 40% of sales come from add-on businesses from those 4 R's.
Yep. So in the brand ambassador program, what I've seen pretty consistently through all the clients that I have set up and that are doing it is the business that they generate out of the brand ambassador, about 40%, even sometimes a little higher than that. I was just talking with a brand ambassador this morning, and he said about every other house he visits, he's able to get an add-on appointment with. And so we like to think of business that we're really good, that, we marketed well, our salespeople wouldn't leave anything on the table. But the numbers say that we are leaving something on the table. And so a lot of times when you get back out there, you give them that gift basket, you say, hey, last thing in here, I understand that you were, just did a big project with us, but if you were going to use this gift card towards anything, what might it be? And you show them everything you have to offer. It's very easy to get back out to that home and, and sell those at a very, very high rate. Because they're already happy with you. And so having a predictable process like the brand ambassador to go back immediately after the install, and we're visiting them, within days or a week or two after that install, and closing a lot more business from that.
I love that. And we talked earlier about setting up your CRM for success. You guys are really sitting on a gold mine. Your CRM is a gold mine. Hopefully most of you guys are using a CRM. And if you're just using Google spreadsheets, hopefully you're marking down all the, what your customers purchase. So the first step here, and every CRM offers this functionality. So if you guys aren't doing this today, take a screenshot, give it to, the tech person that's working in your CRM. Maybe it's you, maybe it's the marketing person. Set up a multi-select field that outlines what you sold. So we see here on the left-hand side, we got doors partial, roofing repair, roofing replacement. This is an exterior company. And write down and make sure that you're marking what they purchased. So for example, if this customer purchased windows partial, so you installed, let's say 6 windows and they've got a total of 12 windows in their home, make sure you're marking that down. So that way, when you go and actually build a campaign, a way to outreach to that customer via text, email, phone calls, voicemails, whatever you're using to run these campaigns, and here at Hatch, we can help you with this. Decide on, how you want to target those leads. So in this example, we got windows partial folks in the last year who didn't replace all their windows. So we see here's the filter criteria. We close them. This is what it will look like if you're using Improver 360 and your job type is windows partial. And so if they're partial, then that means that you have an opportunity to replace the rest of the windows. Send out a text. I know it's a little bit small, but something like, hey, Kyle, this is Josh Base Exteriors. Since we replaced a few of your windows last year, I wanted to let you know about a few specials we are running that will make replacing the rest very affordable. Is there a good time for us to give you a call? And so this targeted upsell campaign is super, super effective for our customers. So what we do here at Hatch, and there's other services that can help you with this, but what we do here at Hatch is we connect up to your CRM, whatever you're using, and we pull in all that data from all those sold customers. And then as soon as we have that data, we can create these targeted campaigns for you. And the results are just absolutely tremendous. I mean, Kyle, 40% of this 4 Rs come from repeat business. I mean, this is a gold mine. I mean, there's no marketing costs here, right, guys? You're not having to serve up ads to this customer. They already worked with you. All you have to do is reach out to them with a targeted upsell campaign. Maybe you did the roof and they need siding that needs replaced. Maybe you replaced one bathroom and they got 2 upstairs. There's a lot of opportunity here to go after those leads. And this is just a view of how you can set that up in a tool like Hatch, where day 1, you can send out a text, email, and a voicemail. Day 3, send another text. Day 5, send a text and an email. And then when somebody responds, they'll get taken out of the campaign, right? And so as soon as somebody does respond, though, you'll be able to jump into your inbox and be able to handle that lead and sell that job. So it's important that you create sort of an automated process to handle these, so you make sure you're staying on top of those in a regularly cadenced manner. So when do you reach out? What's a good time to reach out? I mean, there's a lot of times that you do introduce a new product and you're going to want to reach out. And Kyle, you mentioned the holiday season can be pretty effective, right? With respect to being, less busy, right?
Yeah, I mean, the holiday season tends to be when most home improvement companies slow down. In November and December, we don't have, the phone's not ringing as much. People aren't filling out as many forms about getting an estimate. And that's typically when we slow down. So really using a targeted holiday campaign. A lot of my clients, we put into something where, every year they do this, that they send out some type of direct mail piece to their previous customers, letting them know, hey, it's our friends and family, holiday extravaganza, whatever it may be, with extra discounts that you may not normally give, out to consumers, but because they're part of your family already, they're able to get that existing discount. I helped the client with one, they're about a $4 million company a year, and they introduced this program last holiday season. And we were able to get a couple $100,000 in business between November and December out of a direct mail campaign, as well as then calling behind those mailers to set up appointments with previous customers, again, that already like you. The biggest thing I see when doing add-on business with customers is I always find it interesting when I travel around the country and I knock on someone's door and they say, oh, we got windows done last year. Oh, no kidding. Who did them for you? And they can't even remember what company they gave 15 grand to do their house full of windows because that company never stayed in front of them. And the amount of people that buy windows from one company that did a really good job and then go somewhere else for their roof because they didn't even know the company they bought windows from did roofing. And that's a big breakdown in marketing right there. So to be able to stay in front of your customers with everything you have to offer is a huge deal. And if you do nothing more than just reach out to them that one time during holiday season, that's a great start. But you can incorporate programs like Hatch in with that, to also text and email behind that mailer. And so you can really get those contact points to find out if someone is interested, they're going to hop on because they get that special discount at that time. Again, moving into warranty, if someone gets some warranty work done, making sure your service person is trained to at least ask if there's anything else they're looking at doing, or at least let them know what else you guys do. Sometimes companies go as far as when they're doing warranty work to actually do a little walk around of the house and notate what may need to be done. So where you could put them in campaigns, for those different products and or just ask for the business right there. Install anniversary is a big one, right, Josh?
Yeah, install anniversary is huge. And so, say you replace the roof or replace the bathroom, it's a great opportunity to follow up. Fantastic opportunity. In fact, you can just reach out and say, you can create a rule in your CRM, for example, like send an alert when, it's been a year, since the install anniversary, automate that text, automate that email using something like Hatch to reach out to the customer. Are you happy still happy with your bathtub? Are you still happy with your roof? Whatever the case is, it gives you another touch point to be able to, introduce other products that you guys offer and potential add-on business.
And the biggest question I always get from contractors when it comes to reaching out to previous customers is, well, what's going to happen with service work? Isn't my service calls going to go up? You know what? Yeah, they are. But wouldn't you rather figure that out before that customer gets really upset and maybe even leaves you a bad review because they're irritated that something's broken or not working? I find it interesting. A lot of times I'll bump into, customers and they're like, oh, you know what? I have this window. It doesn't work right anymore. Well, did you call us?
Yeah.
No, not yet. And so they didn't even reach out, but even though it's there, they didn't reach out. It's still building in them that they're irritated that they spent this money, they have this problem, they have to do an extra step to get it fixed. But when you come back out there and you do great service and warranty work for them and you fix that problem for them, and you can even use, one of those 100% satisfied signs to the other side to saying, prompt warranty and service. That you can get a picture with to show people that, hey, you know what, things are going to happen, but we take care of them. And that's another touch point where you can hit them up for a review if they haven't done it yet, or a referral from them, and of course, additional business. Which brings us to the last point, the brand ambassador visit, going out and seeing them very quickly after the install. And getting, additional business. And again, about 40% of the business can be gotten with an add-on, with that customer. When you go through that gift basket and you explain those contents, the last one being that gift card, and you state, hey, I understand that you just did a big project with us, but for being part of the Window Depot family, we give you this, $500 gift card. If you were going to use this in the future, what product do you think you might use that towards? And showing them then a product sheet of everything you have to offer so they know what you offer. A lot of times, just right here, just a laminated sheet like that is so simple to put in front of your customer, and they might say, let's just say they got all the windows done. They might say, you know what, the entry doors, that would be next on your list. Well, why do you say that? What's going on with the doors? And you find out their pain points. You let them know that similar to the windows, we'd come out, we'd take a look, we'd measure and inspect, answer their questions, sit down with them, design the perfect door for their home, and leave them with a price that's good for at least a year. Of course, with that discount taken out of there for that gift card. When can we stop by? We're gonna have some guys out here tomorrow and Thursday. And a lot of times they'll go for having that appointment again. And now you just took that sale of 10 grand for those windows and turned it into, 14 grand because you did an entry door also.
That's fantastic, Kyle. And so, yeah, you mentioned this throughout this webinar, the benefits of having something like a brand ambassador program. So I'm curious, Kyle, what does that look like? And how does somebody get started with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the brand ambassador program is one specific person in your business that would go out and visit all the jobs that get installed. And so if you're a very small company and you maybe only do a few installs a week, they could certainly multitask and do other things in your business. But we usually recommend, we'd like them to see about 10 jobs a week, if possible. And so they're calling that customer, they're setting up a time to come do a final walkthrough, take some pictures of the project and leave that customer with the gift. They're showing up there, they're giving them that gift basket, they're going through the contents, they're explaining the gift card and how they could, save some money on some additional work to see if they have any other need. They're talking about getting that referrals. They're certainly getting a review from that customer or multiple reviews from that customer. And then they're doing the radius marketing and knocking, 10 to 30 doors in that local neighborhood, to get business. So once you've identified that person, it doesn't take a whole lot to get them set up in doing, this process. So we gave you many different ways on all of those 4 R's that you can start doing it in your business. A lot of them even being automated through someone like Hatch that'll just, once it's set up, it's like set it and forget it. It just runs. So any of that is better than nothing. But anytime you can get face-to-face with that consumer, your percentages of converting go through the roof. And just to kind of give you a breakdown, if you want to go to the next slide, Josh, at what this program can do for you. Here's 2 different ones of my clients. I recently got numbers from them. Client A, that's a random 90-day snapshot. I just took a 90-day snapshot of last fall at what they did. And that brand ambassador set 159 appointments between repeat, referral, and radius. which equated to 76 demos, which turned into 33 sales. So if you look at that closing percentage, goes way up when it's repeat and referral business. And then even radius, when you're knocking on that door to their neighbor, almost still comes across as a referral because they've seen you over at their neighbor's house. They talk with their neighbor and know that you're a great company. So your closing percentage can go way up for almost $300,000 in net business. So he's averaging right about $100,000 a month in net business. That one marketer, doing the brand ambassador program at about at 6% cost of marketing they're running. Client B, this was their first 60 days. I just got them set up and did the coaching and consulting with them to get the program going, helped them hire their brand ambassador, and then came out and trained that brand ambassador. This is the first 60 days after I got done with training from them. 93 appointments, 37 demos, 18 sales, $250,000 in business. They're running about a 10.2% cost of marketing all in on that program because they pay their brand ambassador very, very well to go out and do this program. They're paying them about $50,000 a year plus bonuses on top of that. But if you look at it, they're running about $125,000 in net business. That's $1.5 million a year they're getting out of this brand ambassador program with one marketer. And so it can be really, really huge. And again, to give you a breakdown, when that brand ambassador goes out and does those 10 appointments a week, they usually get about 9 out of 10 people they visit to leave at least one, if not multiple reviews for them. And so think about 9 5-star reviews a week for your company and what that could do for you over the course of a year. They're getting, with the business breakdown, it's usually about 40% add-on business, about 50% repeat business, radius business, and then about 10% of that is going to be referrals. So even though you got a great program, referrals are still, somewhat hard to get. But again, they issue, demo, and close at a much higher rate.
That's fantastic, Kyle. So if you're interested in learning more about Hatch, messaging app for home improvement, or Tony Hoty, the brand ambassador program, let us know in the poll, and we're happy to reach out, share with you guys some information about what we do and how we can help you guys. And this is a good opportunity now, before we do the Yeti giveaway, to also mark and go into the Q&A and ask any questions that you might have for Kyle or myself. It's really interesting. I think a lot of folks, we mentioned this earlier, kind of ignore these 4 R's when they're doing really well as a business, right? People get fat and happy. You guys are super busy, but what you're doing right now is going to help prep you when, there's not as many inquiries coming in on your website, right? Kyle, you were talking about, the holiday season being obviously a slower time for contractors. This is a great time for you to kind of capitalize on that for the future. So I can't speak to these enough. I was just introduced by Kyle to this concept of the 4 R's, and it just makes sense bundling these all together and how they all speak to each other. So I encourage you guys to head on over to the poll. Let us know if you'd like to learn more about Hatch or Tony Hoty, and we're happy to have a conversation with you. And so with that said, we have a winner. I had my colleague put everybody's name through our generator. And so the winner of the Yeti cooler, and we'll ship this to you after this webinar, is Mauricio Aguero. I'm sorry if I messed up your name there, Mauricio, from Swift Home Renovations. But congratulations, you've won the Yeti. We're going to shoot you a text, get your information, and we'll ship that Yeti off to you after this webinar, straight from Dick's. So congratulations. All right, thanks everybody for your participation in that poll. We'll be reaching out to you guys shortly. And then we had a question coming in from Chris. He asked your feedback questionnaire might go against the ultimate question, which is basically only 1 or 2 questions. What's the purpose of? I guess he's asking, what's the purpose of asking so many questions when you meet with a client?
Yep. And so each client has a little bit different view on exactly what they want to ask, but a lot of the companies want to get as much feedback as they can about the different steps throughout their process. And so really finding out, things like, did the installers use drop cloths? Did they clean up after themselves? Were they polite and courteous? How was our communication? These are all little things that we can help uncover. So when we ask that ultimate question, overall, how happy are you? We can try to maybe, because sometimes they might say, hey, you know what, your communication's a 4. And they give us a 5 on everything else. Because again, we don't want to push them to leaving a review for us. Because overall, they might still give us a 5. Hey, overall, I give you a 5, but this little part here, I think you could have got a little better at. We can try to address that and not only make that customer happy about it, but also use that feedback we get to make process change in our business and to get better at things. And so again, everything kind of plays on everything to be serving instead of selling with that customer. So to be able to have a bigger conversation, and the brand ambassador overall, when you're in the home, is really only about 15 minutes or so with that customer. It goes really, really quick. The customers don't get annoyed with it when you make it conversational and you really show that you're there to try to help them and serve them and really get better as a company.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle, for answering that. And I hope that helped, Chris. And another question that came in is, how much does it cost to get started with the brand ambassador program?
Yeah, the brand ambassador program. So we offer many different packages with that, all the way from recruiting, having us recruit that person for you, and to training that person. We offer remote training packages. And so remote coaching starts at about $1,500 a month. And then, to come out and actually do like a month of remote coaching, as well as a 3-day on-site visit to work inside your business, where we'll take that person out in the field and actually run these appointments and generate business alongside them while I'm out there. That usually comes in right around, $6,000 to have us, train and get out there and do that. But if it is something that you're interested in, I implore you to reach out to us. You can go to tonyhoty.com. We have a section you can fill out to have one of us get back in touch with you, and just go through your business and really see what it needs and what it can get. Again, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily what it costs, it's what it can do for your business. And, showing you these customers that are, going to do over $1 million in business from that program this year. It's a pretty small cost when you look at what you can get for it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that about wraps it up, guys, right on the hour. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on. Seriously, this is awesome engagement in the chat. I'm glad you guys here in the chat got some value, and we really appreciate it. And Kyle, thank you so much for hopping on, man. And congrats on the half Ironman this past weekend. I mean, it's very incredible, man. So great stuff there.
Yeah, thank you. Congrats on your triathlon also.
Thanks, man. All right, everybody have a good one. We're going to be sending this recording later today or tomorrow, whenever the recording finishes processing, as well as a slide deck. So you'll have everything that you can bring to your business, share with your team. So on behalf of Hatchin and Tony Hoty, thanks, guys, for hopping on, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you later. Thank you.